I am ranking all 82 maps that comes with Cities Skylines. This episode is Plazas and Promenades. This series is tournament style with the best map from each DLC sent to the final round to determine which map is truly the best map in Cities Skylines. Here's the point breakdown. Transportation accounts for 4 points with highways, railroads, shipping, and airports counting for 1 point each. Resources are worth 2 points, half a point for each type of resource. How the map looks is worth 3 points, and personal preferences account for 1 point. The maximum any map can score is 10 points. The first map is Cape Apple. Let's start out with highways. They are pretty flat, so you can't really mess up flat. It's a terrible interchange. There is a complete separate highway over here that's probably not really attainable. And then this is also pretty steep right here, also on this side as well. So all in all, the highways are pretty average. Railroads, it's really hard to mess up flat. They are a little bit bumpy, but not too big of a deal. Railroads aren't perfect, but they're pretty good. There's only one shipping route that goes down the river. The only issue I have with this is once it crosses the bridge, you're expected to make 2 sharp turns to get around this island. Not a big fan of the shipping route. It wouldn't be too difficult to get an airport in here at all. As for resources, you only have 1 resource in the starting tile, but you can get access to all resources within 3 tiles. There's plenty of resources available, so it's pretty average. As for the look of the map, I'm not a big fan of the map. It looks pretty boring. As for personal preference, I would definitely not play this map. The second map is Coastal Gem. Starting with highways, pretty hard to mess up flat. There's kind of a steep hill here, but it's not terrible. This interchange, well, they tried something new, but they kind of failed catastrophically. Just looking at the slopes for this road, we're approaching a 20% slope, which is not doable. This 8.9 is pushing it, and you can even see with the colors, like, yellow means it's fine, but it's not great. Red means not doable. The whole interchange is like this. It's not a good interchange. The rest of the highway, though, is pretty flat. It's not great because of this interchange. The railroad's pretty flat, kind of hard to mess that up. It comes through here, and it just ends. And it doesn't even get you to the tile that you need to get to. In order to get railroads, you need to purchase 2 tiles minimum. I dislike that very much. Shipping route just kind of comes around here and gets pretty close to the coast and then comes back. Pretty unimaginative, so it's average. There's plenty of area to build an airport, but there are some challenging parts, so it's pretty good. You can get both forestry and farming in the first tile, even though it's a small little chunk here. But you can get all of your resources pretty close, and there's plenty of it. This is pretty good. While the map itself is a little bit boring, I do appreciate the attempt at the coastline. I think that looks pretty phenomenal. And it's not my favorite map to play on, but if I had nothing else to do, I would play on it. The third map is Gondola Islands. Well, starting out, they're pretty flat. You can't mess that up, but somehow you can mess it up. I don't know. That's not great. And this is the only highway, and it just ends at the island. That's not great, but I understand there's not a whole lot of places you could go with it. As for the rail, that's pretty terrible. It makes the interchange here. It's all useless. And it ends over here, which is 2 tiles away. You can't even get to it until you buy 2 tiles, which is quite annoying. You know, for this map being centered around water, there's a huge missed opportunity for shipping routes. All it does is come over here, and that's it. Not a big fan of that. It could have come down here, could have come through here, but it didn't. There's not a whole lot of area to build an airport, but the places that you can build an airport, they are flat, so that's pretty decent, but it's not great. You have access to every resource, and they're abundant for the little space that you actually have, so that's pretty good. It's just slightly above average. I do like the look of the map, even though it's mostly flat, but the islands are pretty nice. I do like them. I like this little strip of land out the front here. I think that's really neat, and I would be willing to play this map, but it's not the first one on my list. The fourth map is Oracle Lake. Can't mess up flat and highways. They did a phenomenal job with the bridge. I think that looks great. The only issue I have is vanilla interchanges. They suck. It goes pretty much flat over that way. It crosses over a dry riverbed, which is pretty cool. And it's pretty much flat over that way. So the highways are actually really good in this map. Railroad runs alongside the highway until it comes over here. We get a little bit of a junction that's broken. I think that's a neat touch because it goes to an abandoned factory. I think that's pretty cool. And it just comes around here and kind of goes along the river running up the mountain. The only problem is it's one tile away. The shipping doesn't do much and it's pretty far away, so you can't really do a whole lot with it. There's a lot of area to build the airport. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. There's plenty of resources available, which is nice. You actually get 2 of the 4 in the first tile, and then the rest is right next to it, so that's pretty good actually. I can tell you one thing though. This map does not look boring at all. Actually, this map looks really good, and I kind of want to play it. The 5th map is Split's Tributary. Highways are pretty decent. They're pretty flat. Got a nice custom interchange here. I do like it. The only thing I dislike about this highway is it goes over this lake. I don't like that. Railroad's fairly decent. It goes into an abandoned power plant. A little bit bumpy going over this bridge, but it's not too bad. It is 1 tile away from the starting square, which kind of sucks. There's also another one over here, and that one's farther away. And it's a little more steep than it should be. So it's pretty average. They squeezed the shipping route up this river, and I'm not sure how realistic that would be. That seems like it'd be kind of hard to do. This map is not an airport-friendly map. So be careful if you're trying to build a big airport on this map. You will have a very hard time doing that. If you're looking to build good industry on this map, you're not really going to get that. The only one that you can really get good is the forestry and maybe a little bit of ore. But farming is kind of difficult to get to. Resources is not great. I will say though, this map looks pretty good. I don't have any complaints about this map at all. I do like the look of it. I had a YouTube series on this map, so I played it a little bit, and I have played on this map before, so I'm not really inclined to play it again. If I'm gonna be unbiased, I'd say it's pretty average. The winner of the 4th bracket of maps is Oracle Lake. If you'd like to see which map wins this tournament, make sure you subscribe and tune in tomorrow to see the next episode. I wanted to take a minute to thank Grahtles for helping me rank all 82 maps. May God bless you and have a wonderful day.